Hey there everyone, this is Jeremy, the Music Andy, and we're here today to talk about Continuance from Curren and the Alchemist. The Alchemist is continuing its hot streak from last year, which included having a hand in 3 studio albums, 2 EPs, which were really just one album if you put them together, and then being a part of 2 film scores, currently being just as busy with 4 studio albums in 1 EP. These 2 have worked in the past, going all the way back to 2011 with an EP, Covert Coup, which was a fantastic EP. Some people call it an album. I view it more as an EP. And then in 2018, working with Freddie Gibbs in the album Fetty, and now this newest release from them. I'll start on this album by approaching the production side of this, the Alchemist hand in the album. And he really lived up to his name, as he often does, brewing up some very wicked instrumentals, beats. This is heavy on the jazz rap, as often with the Alchemist, and we have some nice psychedelic tones introduced in this as well as some other darker tones. Half Moon Mornings has this kind of King Crimson like laser guitar kind of shooting throughout the entire beat, has some glitch keys running around, and it has a laid back lounge jazz feel to it. There's some really interesting use of fading on this, adding some nice dynamics to the track. I think it is a fantastic opening to this album and just really showing the quality of the production first and foremost. Corvette, Rally Stripes, and Louis Baggage kind of continue this psyche, hazy feeling on the instrumentals, especially on the back half of this album. But for the most part, like I said, this is a jazz rap piece. It is a laid back lounge kind of jazz approach. The production on this entire album, surprise, surprise, is very clean coming from the Alchemist. Each instrument has a chance of standing out in a song and really providing a melody that kind of hooks you and grabs your attention. But for the most part, everything is constantly moving, evolving, really having your attention being swayed all over the entire track. A song that really stands out to me production-wise is Signature Move. It is the song that has a darker tone to it. It almost feels like I'm falling in reverse when I'm listening to it. It's super interesting on the instrumental. And since we're going in the direction of vocals now, Curren on this absolutely kills it with darker themes, darker lyrics, and his flow matches the beat very well. Now, with me saying that, I also want to just point it out that sometimes in this album, the 2, Curren and the Alchemist, really don't mix that well when it comes to beats and the flows that are on this album. A song in particular is Whale Watching. It is kind of a more laid back, suave kind of a song that I think that points this out well is Whale Watching, which is very laid back, it's suave, and Currency's flow on this is a little flat. It's kind of direct, it's kind of forward marching in a very kind of loose beat for the most part. I think Styles P on this really doesn't offer that good of a feature as well, kind of also colliding with it, but still an improvement from Currency's part on this. The Tonight Show is another song that I really didn't feel like there was any connection going on, except for the middle part around the 110 section, and the final board being the other one that also didn't have that much going on as far as connection between the 2 artists. Currency feels a little bit lost in the moments of the drumless beat, kind of just rambling. And these are very good lyrics and they're very poetically spoken, but just not to the instrumental that is being displayed. Now let's go back to talking about when Currency nails it, because Currency does nail it more oftentimes than he doesn't. Half Moon Mornings, Obsession, Signature Move, and Cool in the Gang are all songs that I feel that Currency absolutely nails it. Especially in Cool in the Game, when it comes to the hook on this, it is super catchy. It matches the beat very well, and it is a perfect chemistry between the 2. As far as the features go on this album, I would say for the most part, many of them nail it. There are a few standouts that don't mix well into it. Boldy James is one that definitely does, and it's no surprise because 2 albums in the last year from these 2, obviously there's going to be a sort of chemistry and connection going on there. Havoc and Wiz on this might have been my least favorite of the 2. It felt like at some points that it was a little corny, a little goofy at times on this track, and I didn't get that same vibe from Currency. The lot of cheese, no lettuce from Wiz Khalifa always gets me to laugh, but I guess that's kind of just their style for the most part. Going back to Styles P, I really didn't feel like he was the perfect piece on this, but did a lot better than Currency. Babyface Ray absolutely kills it on his track feature. Then Larry June was a fitting piece on Endurance Runners. Nothing really too standoutish or memorable, but still overall quality on the track. So now with all of that said, this is an album that is finally produced. It's got some good features, and it has some very good songs that there is great chemistry between the two, but there are also some songs that just do not link that well together. I wish that there was a little bit more of collaboration between the two and just saying that it was not going in the right direction. But maybe for you guys it wasn't as much for me. With all of that said, I'm feeling good on this album. I'm thinking 7.7 Reese's Cups out of 10. What did you think of this album? What albums would you like me to review in the future? Please leave a comment below and let me know. Subscribe if you like the content, and I hope that you have a wonderful day.